We'll go from there.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. Things that we saw in what we've seen in classes. Education levels of the different students. We find there are definitely different levels, and some of it lower than what we expect. No interest in topics. Parents are putting kids in classes and the kids really don't have an interest in it. So participation becomes very low. Lack of comprehension, reading and math skills. I teach global math, and a lot of times kids are coming in saying that they can't do the work, and come to find out they can. One of the reasons I kind of think that's a problem, I don't allow calculators in my global math class because you need to get the basics. Everybody's used to calculators. You take the calculators away and they're handicapped. And that's the next point, was class without calculators. Disengaged students. Parent participation. Again, when we have kids not involved, they're forced into the program. We now try to get parents involved because we don't want to become a babysitting session. And if parents involved, then they'll get some feedback. A couple of times I've had to actually go to parents and give them some feedback as to what's going on in the program. Learn how to engage the students and work with students with learning disabilities. Some kids may have learning disabilities that the parents or nobody says, and it comes out when you're in the class that they actually have a learning disability.
Okay, you can't go too much further than that. We got to expound a little bit more on that.
I've had a student, his mother actually knew it. He's in a class and I'm trying to teach math, and certainly he just not grasping. And he would sit in the class and he just wouldn't do no work. And I'm asking him questions, I'll try to go step by step with him. He barely catches on, but I can tell something is not clicking. So finally I got to a point to talk to his mother, and she says, yes, he has a problem and he needs special attention. But through the course of the work, I picked up on it, but I couldn't really pinpoint it. Not until I talked to the mother, she admitted this was the problem. So now I have kids in the class that have a disability, but I'm trying to keep them along with the other students. And I like to try and move everyone along. And what do you do with that student? You can't always give them special attention, and you don't want to, and some of them actually feel embarrassed about not knowing. And so that's why some of them, I just don't want to do the work. And I don't know if you don't want to do the work because you can't, or you just feel like not being part of the class.
Okay, that's very interesting. Just by show of hands, how many of you have identified students with learning disabilities in your classrooms? Wow. Wow. Okay, that's a whole, we got a lot to talk about today. All right, excellent. Are you finished your list?
Yes, I'm finished with my list.
Congrats. Thank you. Give him a hand. Now, on everybody's list, please put question number one. Put number one, because we're going to collect these pieces of paper, okay? Because we need these for documentation, because we want to understand what you got, okay? How about, let's go to this table right here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We had a lot of
why don't you come over here to the corner so people can see you?
okay. We had a lot of computer and math people on that table.
Yes.
And one of the biggest things they identified was the need for basic algebra. Obviously, if you're going to do programming or anything like that, you're going to need that skill. One of our people said they need help along the whole spectrum of the basics: math, grammar, spelling, everything. Another person said that they felt the students all needed email addresses. A lot of the way that we do business and that this person does business in his class is through email. And so many students don't have email addresses, or even worse, don't have computer access, which is going to be essential. Again, the basic rules of math, the ability to apply those principles, so that if you can get a formula down or something like that, that's one thing, but to figure out how that's going to work in your life, doing your taxes, whatever the case may be. Parent involvement, which is something that was mentioned over here. Thanks. Grammar and spelling, again. This one, pretty much universally the table agreed, is the need to know that being smart is cool. I'm sure we all face that problem to some degree or another. One other thing about parent involvement, a couple people mentioned that some parents would say, well, you're working my kid too hard, or there must be something wrong with your teaching if my kid's not getting it. So perhaps the right kind of parent involvement. And also we feel that there's a need for a larger value on education and the willingness to work hard with perhaps the idea of delayed gratification rather than, it's got to come right now. So if I have, a reason for doing this, I need to have my reward immediately. And to let them know that sometimes the reward is down the line and sometimes that's the way it's done. Did I miss anything? Okay.
Right. Give him a hand. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. All eyes on me. Okay, we found out that when the question was asked, what do we see in the classroom, the first thing we saw that students seem reluctant and deficiency in skills level, basic math and science skills level. There's a wide range of mathematical skill levels. If we noticed that too, is a wide range. We were looking at the 6th grade, but since I'm doing the 9th grade, I know that there's a deficiency in the algebra skills because I teach the 3D geometry. So a lot of the basic algebra skills have been very deficient. I've noticed that. There's a lack of motivation, but capable. We noticed that some of the kids are very capable, but again, the Saturday school, they're there maybe because their parents are pushing them. And again, the delayed gratification. A lot of times the kids don't see that there's an opportunity for them to succeed in their discipline. And then we noticed also that suburban students come in with a broader, more skill sets than some of the urban kids. But I've noticed both. Some of the suburban kids are more, a little bit more capable than a lot of the urban kids. But there's some very capable urban kids also in the inner city. Charter school 6th grade students do not come with the skill set as public schools. We noticed that also. The charter school children does not come with the same skills level as the public school kids, and that's, from a demographic, that's a large demographic, not just straight public schools, okay? And also, does criteria in the selection process make a difference? That's a question also. Does the criteria in the selection process make a difference? Wow. Oh, I'm sorry. Limited experience with handheld technology. Also, we noticed that also. There was a limited skills level with the handheld technology. The graphing calculator, that's something that's a piece too that's missing also.
Yeah, I heard y'all arguing about that.
Yeah, we
Not arguing, discussing.
Discussing. Right, we're discussing.
Here's a bit of information. For perspective, several of your public school systems and surrounding communities, Oak Park as an example, majority Detroit students. Bradford Academy, which is 1,400 kids, 70% of that charter school is Detroit students. As we're looking, it's very interesting that you've identified charter school students and suburban students as having different levels of skill sets. Many of them actually were or are Detroit residents. It's quite interesting. So a lot of this stuff is deep. You guys are messing with me right now. All you guys. You guys want to go? Dan? Give him a hand, please.